black. He's black. But don't this has one person.
Welcome everyone to Uptown Manhattan. Today we're going to walk around the area. We're going to walk around the area of Harlem where people break the rules and ride bikes on sidewalks. So welcome everyone, my name is Ariel. This is Urbanist, and let me know where you're watching from. And let's walk around. I'm starting off a very amazing coffee shop. I used to actually go to school right next door, and I wish this coffee shop existed when I was around, but alas, it wasn't. So join me, let me know where you're watching from, and let's go. So this is Manhattanville Coffee, drinking a good cold brew, and today is a wandering. I'm reading a book about Greece, one of my favorite travel guidebooks, because I'm going there soon, June 30th all the way to July 19th. Stay tuned, and let me get set up as I go and enjoy the views. All right, so this is Manhattanville Coffee, and enjoy a good coffee shop. There's a lot of new coffee shops popping up in this area. So we're in an area that's called Shriver's Row, but I'm not sure how many people call it by that. That's what Google Maps says, but I call this Harlem. So here we are, Manhattanville Coffee, Harlem, NYC. And Wendy, you can't wait for Greece. I'm so excited. You can't wait for Greece. That's so awesome here. Let's see if this guy's gonna stop for it. Hey, Phil from Cornwall. Valerie, have I been to Greece before? Yeah, I've visited Athens before I ever started Urbanist. So this will be my second time in Greece. Hey, Gian. Great to see you live. I've been missing you, Harlem. Yeah. Getting any soul food? No soul food today. But we are going to enjoy the architecture on a gentle stroll through this area of New York City, Harlem. Hey, Cecile from Copenhagen. Welcome. Hey, Nana. Hello, Katie from Charleston. Can't wait to one day go to Charleston and try the barbecue all on live video. Oh wow, your second time. I've always wanted to go there, says Michelle. Yes, for Greece. Can't wait to show it to you. Little libraries here, look at this. Some nice books over here. You can see my gimbal. Oh, it feels good to be walking around and drinking a cup of coffee. Once again, free. Lots of beautiful architecture here, so we're not covering any history. We're just gonna wander around and enjoy the beautiful sights and sounds and beautiful skies. Hey, Wendy says, what a surprise. I'm glad I can provide a good surprise. Oh yeah, welcome. So right over there was my school, City College of New York, CCNY. So let's actually show you a little peek over here. I've covered this many times on live videos, so watch my previous live videos of City College. And there's ones that go more in depth into its history. And also there is the Hamilton Grange, which I'll show it to you. Lamont, you say great school. I'm glad you think so, Lamont. David, I missed your $2 super chat. Oops, David. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it. When was this? Today? And remember, we went to Washington Heights. And you notice it was pretty high up compared to the rest of Manhattan. Well, one of the highest points in all of New York is actually here as well. All of Manhattan, specifically the island. It's right here, City College. So there we see it pop up, the views of Hogwarts. I mean, City College of New York. Kind of looks like Hogwarts. The fictional school of Harry Potter. It's actually one of the older schools in New York City. The oldest continuously running public school in all of New York since the early 1800s. David! David, am I Greek, Jewish? What are you? That's what you're asking, David. Thank you so much for the super chat. What are you? What kind of weird ethnic background do you have? I can't really tell. I'm fully Puerto Rican, 100%. And Puerto Ricans come from, there's a lot of music in this. A lot of people are bumping hip-hop music. Okay. Another video that's going to be tough to mute all the time. Puerto Ricans come from a combination of three different ethnic backgrounds, mostly, including myself and many of the people I know, including most of my family. It is white European, mostly from Spain, Portugal, and the Canary Islands. And that could get a little bit more complicated because a lot of people are from Canary Islands. There are indigenous people from the Canaries. And then also, I have Taino, Native American, and I have Yoruba, which is African. And that's the combination I have. And then I have ancestry from Cuba and Venezuela, which is basically the same combination of ethnic backgrounds. That's my combination. Hey, Mr. Broman, love the color shirt. Thank you so much, Mr. Broman. So right over there was my school of, Grove School of Engineering, because I study electrical engineering. Right down there is Hamilton's Grange. And this is where Hamilton grew up. But I want to more explore this neighborhood. So watch my previous videos for that area. Hey, Panajotis, Ariel will message you some areas to avoid walking in Athens with everyday video equipment. Oh, I didn't know I had to avoid areas in Athens. I was reading it's very safe. But thank you. Thank you for giving me the heads up, Panajotis. Debbie says, I didn't know you study engineering. Indeed, I did. Electrical engineering. I have a degree. My friend has little Taino in her PR heritage, says Terry. Yeah, I mean, of course I'm generalizing. Not everyone has the mixture of those exact three ethnic backgrounds, but I do, personally. Kay says, I loved your new dance video. Oh, thank you so much, Kay. I'm so glad you did. So if anyone doesn't know, I post short films and dance films on my personal YouTube. Search Ariel Vieira and you'll see my latest one that mixes traditional dance and kind of modern interpretive dance. Hey, Vasilios has plenty of dangerous areas in Athens. Really? I mean, people would say Harlem is the dangerous area. Are you talking about like a Harlem? Vasilios and Panajotis? Or are you talking about like worse? Because, you know, like we're walking through Harlem right now. I don't feel too uncomfortable. I feel safe generally in these neighborhoods. I wouldn't come here late at night, but we'll film a live video late at night, but I do seem to feel safe. Where's the dance film, Girl in the Curl? Ariel Vieira. Kay, yes, feel free to link the dance film on Facebook. For YTers out there, do I have a Nightbot command on it? Maybe some of the mods remember, but it's Ariel Vieira is the name of my YouTube channel. Beautiful church over here, very blocky. It is Gothic because of those pointed arches over here and red doors. Hey Carmen, nice day today. It really is. Hermes. Ooh, okay, we got quite a discussion happening about the safety concerns of Athens. Hermes says, no, nowhere near as dangerous as NYC. David says, it's cool that you study electrical engineering. I graduated a few weeks ago at Hofstra from computer engineering. Lots of electrical engineering courses. Yeah, David. Oh, that's so awesome. They're almost the same degree because the majority of the courses I took in the last 2 years were mostly computer engineering heavy. Awesome, David. Everyone give hearts to David. He just graduated with a computer engineering degree from Hofstra, which is a local university based in Long Island, if I'm correct. So big hearts to you. That's so awesome, David. Congratulations. I know it's a very hard degree, like at least for myself and many of the classmates I knew. It was intense. Got Your Nose says, Got Your Nose, not that type of show. Are you getting some good food here? No, Terry, no food here today. Just wandering around, enjoying the sights. Is it your birthday today? No, Carpet, no. But I will be going live during my birthday. It'll be a surprise. Some of you already know when it is. Hint, hint, it is on the scheduled day. And hint, hint, it's not tomorrow. Did you ever work using your degree? Kind of. I used my degree to work in tech, but I wasn't an engineer per se. I worked with computer engineers, software engineers, but I wasn't directly an engineer. So I worked at Foursquare here in New York City. I see some brownstones. Let's check it out. Candy, you will have to find out. Within this week, I will be going live, and it will be my birthday. Wendy knows my birthday. That's awesome. Hey, Juan, mi amigo. ¿Cómo estás? Si, mándate un salvo en la área que encuentras. Juan, sí, claro. Estoy ahora mismo en la área de Harlem, que es la parte arriba de Manhattan. Y es una área con mucha historia, especialmente historia afroamericana. Hay historias anteriores también. Y es una área bien bella con muchos edificios bien bonitos también. So it's a beautiful area, lots of African American history here. And I highly recommend checking it out. David, have I ever met with the YouTuber Mary Jane? I've done like 4 videos with her. So check them out. I think I featured in like 3 to 4 videos. And I've appeared in a few of her videos as well. So beautiful brownstones. Look how huge they are. Built initially as multifamily housing, if I'm correct, especially due to its size. Panajotis, thank you. Just send me the areas you recommend to avoid in Athens. David says, how do YouTubers meet each other? Through magic. There's a inherent telepathic connection between YouTubers. We see each other in the streets and we just give each other a winking nod and smile. And that's how we know. It's like the Masons. The YouTubers are like the Masons. We just know who's who. Hey, Diana says for my birthday fund. Thank you so much. Here we have another church. This one's interesting. It's one of those smaller churches They're built inside the streets. Anyone else find these churches charming? I personally do. I love the churches, especially here in New York. And you see them in American cities, like Boston as well, and Philly. That they're built right in the middle of a residential street. Vasilios, have I planned my trip in Greece? I know exactly where I'm going. I'm going to Athens, Santorini, and Thessaloniki, and then back to Athens. That's the 4 legs of my trip. Anything beyond that is really kind of, I do it on the whim. So any day trips I might plan just a few days before, or maybe maybe I should plan it a little bit ahead of time, because some day trips might require booking ahead of time. But yeah, I don't plan too far ahead. Basilio says Americans can travel to Greece, but Greeks can't travel to US. Oh, that kind of sucks. You know, I'm experiencing the same thing as an American who wants to visit UK. I can't go to the UK, but I see a lot of Brits here. Brits tourists, so. Labrina, yes. Thessaloniki, thank you. Beautiful garden that this house have. These 2 of them, look at these. David, have I ever done Little Italy in the Bronx? I have, long time ago. Check out my Facebook, but on YouTube, no, I have not been back to Little Italy, but maybe I'll go back one day. Kurt, you're not far from Athens. Visit Corinth. Great ruins and a few people. Awesome. We got caged plants. They tried to escape earlier, and because these plants tried to escape, they have caged them. I can't wait for your lives from Thessaloniki. I bet it's changed so much. The reason I booked it is because honestly, Thessaloniki gives me like Brooklyn vibes or Paris vibes, which is very interesting. Vasilio says, what do you think to Panajotis? Are we gonna crash Ariel's live stream? Hey, Joe says, great wind dance video. I'm so glad you enjoyed the wind dance video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Valerie, never seen a caged plant before. Well, have you ever seen a plant trying to escape captivity? Well, that's what happens. What street are you on? Says Bed Angel. This is 139th and Frederick Douglass Boulevard. Please sample Greek food while I'm there. That should be amusing, says Veronica. No food. No. I don't cover food, Veronica. Why would I eat when I'm there and make a video of it? Ugh. Ugh. It's like me going to England and eating a meat pie. Or me going to Brooklyn and eating a pizza. What? This is not what this show is about, Veronica. Of course I will. Yeah, I'll try. I'm gonna try a lot of food. Data permitting, I will be going live as often as I can. But there'll be moments where lives will be daily. In Athens, you will see them everywhere. Kiosks on the streets with wooden carved penises in various various sizes and brightly decorated. Interesting. I'm glad that is socially acceptable over there. That's great to hear. Chris says, I think we need a tour of Ariel's closet. He has so many colorful shirts. One day you'll see the huge array of colorful shirts. It'll be like a Sex and the City montage from the TV show I'm referring to. So this is Frederick Douglass Boulevard, named after a very famous African-American U.S. history. Really pushed for civil rights very early on in the 1800s. Mater, nice to see you here. Welcome, Mater. Oh, beautiful little townhouses here. These are nice. David, I have suggestions for where to eat on Arthur Avenue. Thank you so much for the other $2 super chat. I appreciate that, David. Yeah, do let me know. I might head over there once again. I do need new ideas to cover what to cover in New York City these last 2 weeks before I'm off into a new land. Vasilio says, oh man, July is the hottest time in Greece. Be sure to bring sunscreen and cold water. Indeed I will. Don't forget to bring an umbrella also. Sudden rains are typical in Greece. That's good to know, Bana Joseph. Thank you for letting me know. We may need a hipster guide to New York City, says G. Gonzalez. You know, good question. I've already explored many of the hipster neighborhoods here. But it might be an interesting, like, edited vlog. What's the time difference between East Coast and Greece? Ooh, I don't know. Someone has to let me know. There's 5G coverage on most areas in Athens, especially the touristy ones. Have you figured out data plans? Maybe get a local number, says Panagiotis. Panagiotis, I heard that wind was kind of the easiest one to... easiest and the least expensive. I heard that the other ones were a bit more tricky. Ooh, beautiful tree-lined streets. Let's check this one out. This one looks pretty. 7 hours ahead. Thank you. So a lot of people are asking a lot of questions, very logistical questions. So when I go to a new country, I really don't think too much about the logistics. Since I don't visit too many places at the same time, I'd rather not be traveling back and forth to a bunch of places. This is probably one of the urbanist trips where I'm doing the most amount of legs in one trip. So I'm going to four different parts of the trip. But beyond that, I really don't plan the logistics. I mostly do research. So that's what I'm doing. I'm researching right now the Trojan War. And reading about its historicity, whether it was accurate or not. I'm also learning about the myths of Greece. So that's what I mostly do. So that's why I don't know these logistical questions, like the time difference or whatnot. That I figure out when I'm there. Where are you going, says Chris. Where am I going? I don't know. I'm just walking around. That's what I'm doing. Wow, this is a beautiful street. There's going to be fireworks tonight. Why is that nice and fly? I think it might be on the 19th because there's a holiday called Juneteenth here in the US now. it's become official for, I think, the entire country. Timothy, do I take Ubers in New York? Very, very rarely. Ubers are becoming very expensive now in New York City. So I don't really take them as often. You know, now in New York City, ironically, I used to love taking Ubers and Lyfts, but now I just prefer taking New York City taxis. Way more affordable. At least here in New York, it's different for every city. It depends on the city. Vasilio says, oh, don't just focus on ancient history. Also look into medieval history. It depends on the location, yeah. Let me know if there's medieval sites. I know Thessaloniki has medieval sites because I think the Venetians were there. But do let me know if Athens has them. There is fireworks tonight as most of the remaining restrictions are being lifted. Ooh, really? Most of the remaining restrictions are being lifted. Interesting. That means we can go to the movie theater and we can see Broadway and we can eat indoors and we can cough loudly in the subway. I mean, never mind. That means we can sit in the subway in peace. That's so awesome. All right, that's really cool. I'm so excited. Now just tell that damn Boris to open up those borders. And also the Irish president, please speak with them. David, am I vaccinated? So only in the context of travel. I won't talk about anything health reasons. For me, I am vaccinated, and part of the reason I decided to get vaccinated is because I prefer the not thinking too much about it when I start traveling, just like I did to Mexico and like I'm going to Greece. Luckily, I'm in good health otherwise, so very grateful for that. Beautiful brownstones, and look at the sun coming in through the trees. What kicks are you rocking today? I got some black Converses. I like my Converse mids. Are there any ancient settlements in New York? Really, the only ancient settlement in the city are the Indian caves in Inwood Park. I have done a video there before when I was on Facebook mostly, and it was one of the most weirdest places I've been in all of New York. I don't really want to cover it again. I got such bad vibes around it. Nothing against the Lenapes, probably not related to them, but the cave just felt creepy. Hey, good afternoon, Trev. Nice to see you here. Sean says, nice shoes. Thank you so much, Sean. I appreciate that. The UK will open in July 19th. Boris announced it yesterday. He did, Janice? I bet you need $1 gazillion to buy an apartment here, says Vasilius. I think this might be a little bit more affordable than below 96th Street. The Persians finance the Spartans to which war against the Athenians? George, are you quizzing me, George? Not yet. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to be quizzed. How old are these brownstones? Great question. Brownstones really got popular in the 1920s. So I would say a good chunk of them are from the 1920s. Give or take 10 years. Like that's when they were popular, yeah.
Why would somebody leave that
kind of stone is used in them? Brown stone, literally, that's the name of the stone. Brown stone. Obviously now you don't really see stones here. So brownstone is very thin, and it's mostly used for the facade in order to give appearance of elegance, even though it wasn't quite the highest level of elegance. It's like modern condominiums that have wood furnishing on top of them. They're not fully wood, but they're meant to give an air of elegance. That was the point of the brownstone. Beneath it is brick, and it has to be plastered on the brick. So, and then there's, I think, sometimes plywood involved in that. So these brownstones are not actually stone buildings. The stone itself is just merely a very thin facade, like you would have with a marble flooring. And that's why these brownstones are very hard to maintain, because the stone itself is very brittle and very it degrades much quicker than other types of stone. And then beyond that, it's such thin slabs that you have to replace them. So sometimes they just replace them with plaster to make it look like a brownstone. And hence, that's why I think these buildings don't really look too much like natural brownstones anymore. How are brownstones laid out? So brownstones were initially multi-family housing. So each floor, I assume, was a unit. But the thing is, since then, these brownstones have become quite a hot commodity, especially when the prices started plummeting in the 70s and 80s. And a lot of these brownstones were being foreclosed, and people started scooping them up. And this is still happening to this day, where people are starting to buy these brownstones and converting a multi-family house to a single family house. So now you have basically your own mini mansion in the middle of Harlem. This is a bit bad news, because that means the housing stock keeps going down and down because people want their mini mansions. But these were never really built as mansions in the first place. Some of them were townhouses, especially the shorter ones that you see around in Brooklyn. But these ones, multifamily, originally. But this one's for sale. Who wants to buy it? How spacious are the interiors? Not really that spacious. They're very long, but they're not very wide. So not really that spacious. I just want to highlight, there's actually people hanging out on the stoop. Look at those guys over there. They're hanging out on the stoop. It's very rare to see stoop life in New York. Though I gotta show you a little bit more of like Bedford-Stuyvesant that has also more stoop life. But that used to be the normal thing, hanging out on the stoop. Not so much anymore. People now, like, I don't know, they're working or something. I don't know. Now we're at Adam Clement Powell Jr. Boulevard. Quite a mouthful. Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Oh, we got a place called Sexy Taco. Oh. Híjole, güey. Oh, híjole, güey. Hola, Harlem. Sexy Taco. Looks good. Adam Clayton Powell was a big deal. Yes. Yes, he was. I don't know too much about him, but yes, he was. He was a lawyer, right? The mayor of Harlem. Says B. Griffin. Thank you. I gotta look at more into him. I did a video where I talked about him, but it was quite a while back. Dwayne says hanging out on the stoop was the thing to do before the internet came around. Yeah, indeed. Indeed it was. Any sexy empanadas? I have not seen a sexy empanada yet, only a sexy taco. Maybe, who knows? Who knows? So I got great news, at least my own personal news. I want to share it with all of you. I hit 200,000 followers on TikTok. Some of you might not even know that I was doing TikTok. But 200,000 followers on TikTok. So thank you everyone who's a TikTok follower as well. I'm at Ariel Vieira. Same as my personal YouTube, Ariel Vieira. All right, let's cross. Little barbecue happening here. Corner Bodega. Let's celebrate by drinking a beer. Maybe. Let's go. Let's crisscross more of these streets. They're so beautiful. Yeah, we're gonna hit Central Park soon, so let's crisscross a little bit. Renee says, without the use of a hot tub or doing the dance called flossing. Indeed, I did no dances, and I was not a hot girl in a hot tub, as far as I know. So that's, I got it just by talking about history and architecture. Not even my food videos went viral. It was all the history and architecture videos that really got me there. Joe says, I'm not a 13-year-old, so no TikTok for me. You'll be surprised. I'm getting a lot of now on TikTok. I'm not a hot girl in a hot tub, right? No, okay. All right, good. Yeah, just history videos, history and architecture on my TikTok. I sometimes repost them on Facebook and Instagram as well. These homes are 2 million plus. Ooh, this one's for sale. Who wants a mansion? Wow, this is huge. There's a camera in the front. This is most definitely a townhouse mansion. Hit up Afsane Hey Gabe. I like her name. Wow. I think it's a her. Afsane Hey Gabe. Right here. 917-794-6544. Have you ever gone inside a brownstone? Great question, Rene. No, I have not. I don't think so. I have not been inside a brownstone. I don't know anyone who lives in... Oh, yeah, I have been inside a brownstone in Crown Heights. That was very big. But it wasn't a townhouse. No, it wasn't a mansion. It was a multi-family house. Someone asked me, was that a single family? I think so, judging by the camera in the front and the fact that it looks very nice, to be honest. Probably is a single family townhouse. How do people sleep with the honking horns? It becomes second nature. Soon Ariel is going to be inhaling sulfur fumes and claiming he's the Oracle of Delphi. Says George Lopez. Indeed I will. Indeed I will. I will commune with the Oracle of Delphi. Benny says it's mostly narrow, not spacious. Yeah. And look at this beautiful garden over here. Barb says another great YouTuber is Cash Jordan. Yeah, I really like his stuff. Debbie, am I going to the Placa? Oh, yes I am. Lots of videos in the Placa in Athens. Do they do double windows? Sometimes they do. Not all the times though. Depends on the apartment or the residence. This one's nice. Very, very rare to see a blue townhouse in the middle of New York. What a nice neighborhood. I agree. This is gorgeous. Rarely come to this neighborhood myself. I lived in a railroad apartment for the first 7 years of my life, says Dorinda. Yeah, railroad apartments are fairly normal. What are the best restaurants there, says Cliff. Hey Cliff, how's it going? Best restaurants here. My personal opinion is Amy Ruth's fried chicken and waffles is by far some of the best things you'll ever try in your life. Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. Amy Ruth's, but that's a little bit farther away. It's at 116th Street. There's a few other great restaurants here, but I don't have too much personal experience with them. So let me know, or what are the best Harlem restaurants? Hey Ronald, nice to see you here. Welcome. Looks beautiful sunny day. Love the sound of birds. If you stop a second, I hear the birds. Yes. Let's enjoy. Hey Darla, just subscribed. Hey Darla, thank you so much for joining, for becoming, not joining, but subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you. Thank you. Hope you enjoy the explorations. Wondering if today's Ariel's birthday. No, not today, but it will be a day within this week when I go live. You just gotta stay tuned. That home is listed as a legal hotel. 6 bedrooms, could be a bed and breakfast opportunity, says Chris. Ah, fascinating, Chris. That is fascinating. Moo says, "Ah, you're watching, Ariel." Indeed, I am. I am the one live streaming. I'm also the one narrating. I'm also the one moving the camera and walking. I'm doing all the things. It's 3.7 million and it's pretty inside, says Chris, the house we showed earlier. And B. Griffith says, "I'm also starring." Yes, I am. When you come back from Greece, will you be doing streams wearing a toga, says Diane. It depends. It depends. Moo says, "I got 2 dedicated viewers on Twitch." Yes, indeed I do. Indeed I do. I'm so glad I got 2 dedicated viewers. Thank you for the 2 viewers on Twitch. I got 200K on TikTok. Right now on YouTube. Almost 400 people on YouTube. And about 60 people or 70 people watching on Facebook. That is amazing. But you know what's truly amazing? When I get those on Twitch. And one day, we will get 20. Oh yes. One day we will get 20 concurrent viewers on Twitch. It's gonna be a fun time. So let's go. 135th. This is 135th. Wow, we didn't walk that much. Let's check out 135th. Panajota says Twitch needs a different approach. That's right, Panajota. I might need to start doing live streams from the hot tub in order to hit it big on Twitch, because that's the thing. People love people in hot tubs and live streaming. So Susan, I appreciate you moderating on Twitch. Thank you. How big is Harlem? Harlem is amongst the bigger neighborhoods in Manhattan. Lots of people here. Very densely populated and very big neighborhood. I don't know the exact size though. So I would say between 110th, I think up to 145th is what you would consider Harlem. No, it would go even further, technically, I think. And the East Harlem itself is huge. B. Griffith says, maybe you can live stream from the back of one of those hot tub limos and put those super chats to work. Indeed. Do you have dates for your Greece trip? Says Debbie. Debbie asked, do I have dates for my Greece trip? You know, yesterday I was watching My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I seen it when it first came out. But very sweet film. And I love how they depict the family there. So, will my live streams be My Big Fat Greek Wedding Part 3 or reboot of My Big Fat Greek Wedding? Who knows? You gotta stay tuned. This is a precinct. Beautiful building. That first film is full of cliches. Indeed it is, Veselios. It is a very cliched film. Yes, it is. And I assume they really stereotype Greeks. Though it was written by a Greek American, so I think a lot of people... It came from the heart, at least. Some of it. Oh, nice murals. Look at these. Wow. Who are these guys? Do let me know. Oh, this is John Dizzy Gillespie. Oh, John Gillespie. Dizzy Gillespie. Very cool. 100th anniversary mural. Estella says, I heard that Times Square will have a big LED screen. Ooh, I don't know. Haven't heard about that yet. That's awesome to hear. Mr. Broman says Harlem is 1.4 miles with a population of 116,000. What shenanigans can we expect in Greece? Says Ronald. So I'm going to recreate the shenanigans of my favorite philosopher of the ancient Greeks, Diogenes. Just look into him and you'll learn exactly what that entails. Dizzy was one of the jazz greats, says Hope 3D. Indeed he was. That's a lot of people packed in 1 mile, says Moo. Yeah, 116,000. You know, for perspective, some US states only have about a population of about 200,000. Or a little bit more. Will you be filming tonight's fireworks? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm not sure where they are. Where are we walking today, Rhonda? Harlem. Doesn't seem as packed in the 80s. We are not really in the heavily trafficked place. Once we get to 125th, you're gonna see how full it does feel. But let me know, was it full in these streets, you know, above 125th back in the day? Oh, so Renee, thank you so much. Diogenes, that's how one pronounces their name. Diogenes. Is New York City scary by yourself? Not in my opinion, no. No, 10. Great question. Wow, your camera's so clear in high def. It is indeed, Rob. It is indeed. Hey, Felix, beautiful day in Harlem. It is. Diogenes. Shadows are beautiful. Indeed they are. I like how there's cobblestone streets here. This is a very unique street. Very rare that you see streets in New York City with this type of parking. Makes it feel like one of those small towns in the US. I noticed that your images are sharp, beautiful colors. Indeed they are. Super chat sent from Renee and Omnis Dude. Hey! Charlie Parker's friend, creator of the Bebop Daddy-O, was Dizzy Gillespie. Oh, thank you so much for that, Renee. I appreciate that. And Anonymous Dude, thank you so much for the super chat. Let me know if someone left, if you left a message. Thank you so much, Anonymous Dude. Patsy's Pizza's in Harlem. Indeed it is, at 116th. The original Patsy's. Good pizza. Who's your favorite Greek deity, says Judy. I don't know, I kind of like Athena. Athena is a really cool deity. Fireworks is at 9:15 p.m. tonight at New York Harbor. Oh, interesting. I love the place with the plants. Yeah, it's at 135th and Adam Clayton Howell Boulevard. Wasn't there affluent area for writers and upper middle class? Harlem was in around the 1910s, 1920s. People like Houdini lived here, but then it started changing. A lot of African Americans started moving in, but when the African Americans started moving in from some of the well-off places of the South, many of the African Americans that started migrating to Harlem were college educated and they were middle class. There was a huge renaissance of the arts, including writing, music like jazz, food as well, with soul food, and you know, fried chicken and waffles, something that was kind of innovated here in New York, and many other art forms, poetry as well. So, and then many of the beat poets as well, some of them were called hipsters. It was the original use of the term hipster. And what hipster originally meant. No, we got, that is a wheelie with an ATV. That is hard to do. So hipsters originally were white Americans. And again, I'm using these terms because everyone's American. Let me preface it right now. Everyone's American. I don't like making these distinctions so much, but what you have to understand about America, unlike maybe some other countries, unlike maybe Puerto Rico, for instance, there was a distinction. Due to many other factors, there was a difference, not in quality, but just in terms of communities. They were different communities for many hundreds of years. And they were insular, each side. So that's why I'm saying the words white, black, and white, African American, etc. So the original term for hipster was a white American, usually from downtown Manhattan, coming all the way up to Harlem and going to the jazz clubs. And they were hipster. And usually they would wear the fedoras as well. So that was the term hipster originally. And then it was appropriated later for people who lived in Brooklyn. Anonymous Dude says, Mags is very kind. B. Griffin, Ronald, and all the mods. Thank you so much, Anonymous Dude, for shouting out the mods. I appreciate you. Thank you. Ronald says, unavoidable history. Indeed it is. Is this where the Globetrotters are from? They are indeed from this neighborhood. Excuse me. They are indeed. Lots of more restaurants we're seeing here on Adam Clayton Powell. Debbie says, are you a licensed tour guide? Yes, I am a licensed tour guide in New York. Go urbanist.live/tours. I offer private customized tours. Ooh, there's a beer garden here. That's nice. Beer garden called Harlem Hops. Oh, I like that. Hey, Audi says, I hope you're having a good day. I am indeed. It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Best kind of garden is a beer garden, says Zhao. Indeed it is, Zhao. Indeed it is. Kali, salam alaikum. Thank you so much for tuning in from Saudi Arabia. I appreciate you. Hey, Cynthia. Is it more safer in Harlem? I definitely do feel safe. But again, you know how I look like, you know how tall I am, and you know my gender, so you be the judge, but I feel safe, yes. I wouldn't come here like at late at night filming, but during the daytime I feel chill. Saludos compañeros estadounidenses. Hola, Walter. Bienvenidos. Recuérdame de dónde está mirando. Gracias. Warber says, hello to all my fellow Americans. Says, welcome to Mr. Vera's neighborhood. Indeed. I'm based everywhere and anywhere. Alright, I gotta buy myself some water. Who wants to take a water break? Who wants to go to an authentic corner store to get some water? As they say in New York, water. Rene says, I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by madness, starving, hysterical, naked, dragging themselves through the crowded streets at dawn. Angel-headed hipsters. I forgot the rest. But yes, Rene is quoting one of my favorite poems of all time that does mention hipster in, it's one of the very first mentions of hipster in any type of literature, and that was by Allen Ginsberg. And yes, he was referring to those dudes, including himself, who would come here up to Harlem and go into the jazz clubs. When at that time, most of the jazz clubs were just African American. Then later on in the 20s, especially towards the later 20s, early 30s, is when more people from around New York started coming into Harlem and hanging out as well. All right, let's go take a water break. Oh, I don't have cash. I'm gonna put this bottle in water. Hey, just one. Good, how are you? Thank you so much. Yeah, some good water. Oh my God. Oh no. All right, everyone, water test portion of this video. We're gonna test this water. We'll see if it's good water. All right, I'm gonna try this water, see if it's good, see if it's worth it. $1, yes, it was a $1 water. We're gonna see if it matches up to all the other waters that we've tried here in New York. Serious water test. All right, cheers. Sit down because this might be a very dramatic water test. So it is watery. Has a clear, refreshing taste to it. Dare I say it's crisp. And it tastes like hydrogen with some oxygen. It has an oxygenated taste to it. Yeah, like a little bit of oxygenation I'm experiencing right now. Wait. Yes, it is wet. It is a wet taste in my mouth. Yeah, good water. Good water. I highly recommend this water with the green label, whose brand I will not mention until they sponsor me. So liquid water, nice and chilled, highly recommend. That green label, whose name I shall not mention until they sponsor me. There's a megabus passing through. All right, now we're getting close to 125th, which is going to be the main thoroughfare. I'm glad everyone enjoyed that water review, in-depth water review. Moo says, warning, water may be wet. Indeed, be careful. You have been warned. You have been warned, but you might have not been warmed because it's actually very cool. It's a cool water. Hope he goes by Sylvia's. Yeah, Sylvia's, I haven't tried Sylvia's yet. It's always very full, but I could only come here so far on the weekends. Look at this nice park. Nice playground, lots of kids. Wow, they made this playground look very beautiful now. The sprinklers and everything. Oh, we got the wheelie guy. Poseidon energy, indeed. Hey, Hermes prefers, right, Amy Roos. Hey, it's a mute for because of music. You guys weren't hearing the music? I put urbanist music on. You did not hear it? It's a shame. Not sure what happened. I tried putting urbanist music on, but it's not playing for some reason. So, are you hearing the music? No? Let me know. No, no music? Oh, that sucks. All right, something happened with the album. With the app. But I'm back anyway. Alright. Someone left a abandoned teddy bear. Beautiful church over here. How far is Spanish Harlem? We gotta go this way. And we might take only, oh no, 15 minutes, a little bit less than that. Pretty church, yeah, I agree. Oh, here we have the Pixar version of Call Me By Your Name. Can't wait to see it. Mater, is it open? No, these you know, when it comes to Methodist and Baptist churches, they always tend to be closed. So if anyone can have a word with the Methodist and Baptist church, any Protestant churches, please have a word with them and ask them to start opening up their churches. That and synagogues as well. Debbie sent 50 stars. Thank you so much, Debbie. Hey, if Star Senders, thank you so much. Facebook is doing something really interesting where they're basically doubling the amount I get from stars. So if you send like 50 stars, which is 50 cents, if I hit the goal of 37,500 stars, I end up getting double that. So I end up getting $375 more from Facebook. They're paying more. So if you enjoy this show on Facebook and want to give a small tip, you can do so by giving stars. And if I hit this goal by July 21st, I end up getting double. So that's awesome. And also we have a stars goal anyway for the Greece trip. So thank you so much, Wayne, as well, for giving a star. So one of the few high-rises, or really big high-rises here in Harlem. There's a few others further down. Yeah, there's another one here. Another high-rise. Lynn says, I love your music. Oh, I'm so glad. Wendy says, wishing upon a star. You may pass the Schomburg Library. He was an Afro-Puerto Rican who collected black history after being told that they had no history. Ooh, Cynthia, interesting. Where is this? Schomburg Library. This is the Adam Clayton Powell Jr. State Office building. Is that where the Clinton's offices were located? Yeah, before they were located in one of these high rises, but I'm not sure which one. B. Griffin says the guy Democritus came up with the idea of atoms. Yes, he came up with the idea of atoms, even though every other philosopher that came right after him told him that he was crazy. And people then believed him for hundreds of years until they were able to have a little bit more substantial evidence for it. And yeah, he was the guy who formulated the original philosophy of happiness, at least in the Western tradition. So yeah, we'll be talking about Democritus when I go there. And Epicurus as well. Here's Hotel Teresa. This was basically the Waldorf Astoria of Harlem. All the top celebs that were African American stayed here. So you can literally name any name, and there's a very good chance they stayed here. Ella Fitzgerald, Dizzy Gillespie. I don't know. Name a few other famous African American artists. James Brown probably stayed here at some point. Little Richie, maybe, most likely. So this was the Waldorf Astoria of Harlem. And you guys want to see Adam Clayton Powell? He has the most epic statue, in my opinion. The most epic statue in all New York, in my opinion, is this one. Now we're 125th Street, which is the main thoroughfare for Harlem. And so yes, there are a lot of Americans here. Again, people who have been Americans for generations, but there's also now a lot of West Africans who have come over here, like these gentlemen over here. I can tell because of the music they're playing. In my opinion, this is one of the more badass statues, because look at him. He has a flowing cape, in essence, or a long jacket. And ironically, it's very windy in this exact corner. Look at that. Oh my god, it's so epic. We need some like epic music for this guy. This guy needs a movie. With that statue, he needs a movie. He has a great quote here. It says, "Press forward at all times, climbing toward the higher ground of the harmonious society that shapes the laws of man to the laws of God." Oh, I love that. So cool. That's awesome. So someone mentioned earlier Fidel Castro. Yes, Fidel Castro came over to speak at the UN. It's a very controversial speech. And no hotel really wanted to host him. The only hotel that was willing to host him was here in Harlem, and it was the Hotel Teresa. And thus, Fidel was warmly greeted by Americans here at Harlem, but anywhere else he was despised. Anonymous Dude says, we need to get you a coat like that. Indeed, I gotta get a coat like Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Hope 3D says that it looks like Clark Kent's going to work. Indeed it does. Look how beautiful this building is. I think it has been since landmarked, but it was in the danger of being demolished. But luckily it has been protected. I want to make another point. As we're walking around, this is not a history broadcast, but keep this in mind as we're walking around. If it weren't for the amazing contributions of African Americans, and again, I'm saying that because for many hundreds of years, it was indeed an insular community for many reasons. A lot of them negative reasons, but African Americans have had a massive impact. If it weren't for those communities all around America, we would not have jazz, we would not have rock, we would not have funk and hip hop, we would not have electronic music, we would not have sampled electronic music, we would not have DJs, we would not have fried chicken and waffles. Waffles probably would have gone extinct. You know, we probably would have forgotten about them if it weren't for them. We wouldn't have had countless amazing sitcoms. The list goes on. Jazz, as I mentioned a few times. The list goes on. There's so many amazing. We would not have had peanut butter. We would not have had the light bulb, because one of an African American by the name of Lewis Latimer was crucial to making the light bulb work, because he made the filament that worked perfectly so a light bulb could last. If it weren't for him, we would have light bulbs that will last only 10 minutes. We wouldn't even have had a light bulb. We wouldn't have had the massive woving machines. George Washington Carver, another African American, has a gigantic list of patents. The man invented everything from peanut butter to massive machines. We haven't had so many things, so keep that in mind as we're walking around. The history is, of course, much more complicated, but for me, this is America. This is America. Hey, Hazel says, I love these live streams. I'm so glad you do. Rebecca says, thank you, Mr. Ariel. Oh, my pleasure. Thank you so much for a $5 super chat. Appreciate you, Rebecca. Mary, thank you so much for 100 stars. Sunshine says, that's so true. I'm glad you think so. Yeah, because I hear a lot of rhetoric in modern day, not to talk about news, but just like people's feelings about history. They think that certain communities, I'm not sure if you said my name, certain communities don't, there's rhetoric where people say that certain communities really haven't contributed anything. They have only made certain situations worse, and that they should go back. You know, we've heard that rhetoric before, and I think it should not apply to many, many different communities in the U.S. Basically any community in the U.S. All of them have contributed something. Puerto Ricans as well. Love the camera work of where the wind takes me. Says, oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed that camera work. Here is the famous Apollo Theater. One of the most famous theaters in all of America. And they used to have a Hall of Fame. It's still here. We got Charlie Yarbird Parker. Charlie Parker, famous jazz artist. We got Lionel Richie, famous singer. Etta James. Oh, one of the best comedians that have ever lived, Richard Pryor. We got Stevie Wonder. Little Richard was crucial. Little Richard was crucial to inspiring the Beatles. So all the Beatles have said that Little Richard was their number one inspiration. We got Smokey Robinson, Michael Jackson, Ella Fitzgerald, James Brown, Prince, Patti LaBelle, The Temptations, and the more modern one, Mary J. Blige. And a lot more. And let me show you. Let me show you through the window. I've been trying to get a tour inside here, but it's so tough. Oh, so cool. They always know, they never want me to film. That's so awesome. I always get turned away by the people workers here. I'm not sure why they're so anti-filming. It's such a beautiful piece of heritage. They should encourage filming. They should encourage people to take photos of this beautiful theater. One of the founding fathers was Polish. Yeah, well, in terms of military, I think, yeah. Well, military, there was a few Polish involved in helping the American Revolution. Michelle says that's your cue to go. Cynthia, I've tried multiple times to reach out to the Apollo offices. No word. Susan says, be right back, have to call for jury duty. Oh no, Susan, good luck. Oh, Harlem's nothing like the movies. No, the movies sometimes exaggerate, yeah. But the more negative ones exaggerate a lot. All right, let me show you this beautiful mural across the street. Michelle says, I wonder why. I'm not sure why they're... Maybe because the building might be copyrighted. I'm not sure. Whatever the reason, it's fairly silly in my opinion. So 125th only continues on about 2 more blocks. And then there's the one train that's elevated for one stop here. Come to Brooklyn, my dude, says Jason. Jason, I do not cover Brooklyn. Brooklyn, it's too dangerous, Jason. I cannot go to Williamsburg, very dangerous. There's a lot of hipster women eating croissants, and that scares me to the core. So here, we have a beautiful mural. I think it's called the Spirit of Harlem. Art asks, how do the Slovaks contribute? Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. Somehow, maybe there's one very famous Slovak or multiple. Ben says maybe they had some bad experiences. People recording. I'm not sure, Ben. Yeah, maybe, but I'm not sure why. Beautiful art. Yeah, very beautiful. Jason, thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to Carlos Aloman. Hey Rene, thank you so much for the multiple super chats. Everyone, Rene from Chile is a prolific super chatter. So everyone send hearts right now to Rene on YT. She gives multiple super chats throughout these broadcasts. and each of them are like 2,500 Chilean pesos, which is about $6. So thank you so much for sending so many generous super chats. I appreciate that. So it's called the Spirit of Harlem, made by Louis Desart, or Sartre. The mosaic was made by Franz Mayer of Munich. Munich, interesting. And it was restored in 2018. Renee says, I can't quit when I want to. Indeed. Indeed, Renee. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Cynthia says, Ariel, I looked at the Apollo website and they have an education system. What if you teach how to do YouTube and pitch it to them so you can get video done? Maybe. That's a good idea, Cynthia. Thank you so much for recommending that. United House of Prayer. I wonder what type of denomination this is. There's a cool statue down there. Who wants to see a cool statue? Oh, Magic Theaters is closed. I came here once. Patrice sent 530 stars. Hey, Patrice. I think we're gonna hit this goal. Thank you so much, Patrice. Hey, Urban, I see you edit your own videos. I do edit my own videos, Jason, but I am indeed looking for an editor. So, if you're good enough, you'll be able to find my email or DM me on Instagram, and do send me your work. I would love to check it out. So yes, I am indeed looking for an editor in the near future for vlogs. I'm actually ideally looking for a videographer / editor, someone who could do both in the YouTube style. Oh, look at here. There's a new hotel here called Aloft. Oh, I love that. I love that pun, Aloft. It's quite a lofty pun, I must say. Uh-oh. The guys strike back with their motorcycles. It's quite a lofty pun. It is not quite a pun for the aloof, because they might not notice it. Yeah, beautiful little kind of common area. Nice. So someone said that they stayed at a loft. Jason said, I stayed at a loft, it's not bad. Oh, okay. And they're a Marriott chain. It's not new, it's been here for years, says Samantha. Really interesting. Was it newly renovated then? Because it does look fairly new in terms of its design. All right, I think the statue is over there. Yeah. Who wants to see old statue? We already showed you one badass statue. I'm gonna show you a second badass statue. Bad Angel says, my old hood, Harlem. I'm so glad I can take you back to Harlem. Cedo. Some Lebanese food here. Or Middle Eastern food. Ben says we want to see all the statues. Wendy says, please, sweetheart. Sure, I'll show you all the statues. This is what this show is about. Statues. Statues, ruins, and murals. B. Griffin, shh. Don't let people know how to get my email too easily. Griffin, that's how I know if someone's savvy enough to work with me, is if they're able, or likes my show enough, if they're like a sponsor or a brand, they like my show enough to try and find my email. That's how I know. So shh, don't reveal the secrets. I appreciate that. Uh-oh. Here it is. Cynthia sends a hydration fund. Thank you so much. Here is a statue of Harriet Tubman coming out from the roots, helping her fellow Americans survive for another day. Inside we have the faces of the people she helped save, maybe, or the ones that were unfortunately lost. One of those two. Made by, there is a name around here. I'll try to find it. But yes, she has a name. She looks determined. She was. Hey, Janet White says, I love your tour guide of Harlem. Was born and raised in Spanish Harlem, but learning so much about this beautiful community. Well, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Again, everyone, do your own research afterwards. This was not researched beforehand, though I have done history videos before. So no name here, so I don't know who is it by. If anyone can let us know. Susan has no jury duty. Hey, Susan, congrats. That's awesome. So yeah, there it is. I don't know who the sculptor is, so if anyone can let us know, do let us know in the comments. She ended up saving many people. If anyone can let me know the exact number of people she saved, it was definitely in the hundreds or more during the Civil War times, in order to escape, or slightly before, in order to escape slavery. So she ended up saving many slaves down south and helped them get through the Underground Railroad. And she was a very short woman, so I think she was about 4'11" or around that height. So she was very short. And somehow she ended up sneaking through some of the most dangerous areas of the South, some of the most racist, hostile places for any African American to pass through. She somehow got through into these farms, into these plantations, into these factories, and ended up saving countless African Americans and led them to safety. And then she later spied on behalf of the Union Army, which is the North, in order to defeat the Confederacy, which was the South and was still fighting for slavery. So very epic woman that Harriet Tubman was. Candy says almost as tall as Ariel. Indeed. And let me wait for the light over here. Eddie, thank you so much for 50 stars. NYC was hostile. Yes, NYC was hostile indeed as well. It was a little bit easier in New England. So here is a police station that looks like it belongs in RoboCop. It looks like a little mini fortress of brutalism. B. Griffin says that the sculptor was Quinnell Rothschild. Really? A Rothschild made a Harriet Tubman sculpture? Huh. That's weird. Trisha says that the sculptor is someone else. Trisha says it's Allison Sarr. So who is the real sculptor? And B. Griffin, Renee, oh no, was it? B. Griffin said that she would repeatedly go back, despite people telling her it was very dangerous. It was Allison Sarr is the sculptor. Rothschild might have made the base. Or maybe did like let us know what Rothschild did, but Allison Sarr is the sculptor. I see so many new buildings. Yep, here's 300 West. Want a condo in Harlem? Well, here's your chance. It's nice. It's nice that they're building more housing here. We need more, but it's a start. Thank you for your research. For your researchers, says Rebecca to Trisha B. Griffin. Yes, thank you for all the Google warriors out there. High-speed Googlers, I appreciate you. Thank you for your service. Renee says it's housing for Kanye's ego. Renee, that's funny. I don't think Kanye is really related to Harlem. Where is Kanye from? Oh, is he from New York? He's not from New York. I think he's a West Coaster. It's not like Nas, who's from Queens. All right, let's go to the end of Harlem. Dun, 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 dun. What will we find at the end of Harlem? Kanye's from Chicago. Oh, thank you. Why is the sound jumping from one speaker to another? I am not using a microphone. I'm using the speaker of the iPhone, and now iPhone broadcasts in stereo using the while it's live streaming, so that you're hearing stereo sound. And yeah, I know it's a little bit disorienting. It kind of sucks. It's similar to like a GoPro as well, so it kind of does suck that it jumps from ear to ear. I can't really control it on my end unless if I use a microphone. But on these spontaneous live streams, especially in neighborhoods where I kind of want to be a little bit more spontaneous and I don't use a microphone. So I hope it doesn't bother too much. I recommend just not listening on headphones. I'll do my best not to speak too close to the mic. Wow, beautiful row of houses here. Beautiful row of houses. Amazing. Cross. Jason says urban is for me. I will only consider running for president when I'm above the age of 80. If I'm not the oldest president elected, then I ain't running. Harlem is beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. This is a beautiful neighborhood. B. Griffin says this will have to be knocked down for more housing. B. Griffin, that is a good point. So that is an excellent point, B. Griffin. Let's talk a little bit about urban design, shall we? I had mentioned earlier, there's an issue here in New York where
a lot of these brownstones used to be multifamily, and they've been becoming single family housing, which wouldn't be that bad. You know, it's a free country. You know, it's capitalism, free market. You could do what you want. Yes and no. You know, cities do have to grow. You can't kind of stunt a city from growing. If you do, then you either have massive sprawl, which means the city starts growing all around and people start being forced to go further and further away from the city, which you have with cities like Phoenix. You have like that issue with Mexico City as well. Or you incentivize the city to build more dense. And density does initially, at least if you're used to suburban living, sounds like a terrible thing. Oh no, the city's going to be crowded and terrible and dark and polluted. But not really. It doesn't have to be that way. It could get that way, but it doesn't have to be. So if you want a good example of a highly dense city that is clean air, beautiful, has lots of greenery, then check out a city like Tokyo. I haven't been there yet personally, but from what I've seen in videos, I've seen extensive videos, it does look like an ideal city of density. And there's other good examples out there like Amsterdam as well. It's a very dense city. It might not be a huge city, but it is a dense city where they pack a lot of people in a smaller space, and apparently it's gorgeous. So I can't wait to show you those two places. So why can Amsterdam or a Japan be both a dense city, clean air, and beautiful, and not really feel crowded, or at least not so much? Well, that goes into building more parks, and you have to incentivize building more parks. So you can't sell off every single plot of land. You have to keep open plots for parks. And we have plenty of that in Manhattan. If we choose to densify Queens, what we can do is decide to claim plots of land that either have been foreclosed or have been empty, and just make sure that they are not sold off to become a condo. They stay as a park. But everywhere else, you have to allow for it to go up. But the thing is, you don't necessarily have to lose beautiful historic architecture like a brownstone. What you have to do is allow people to build above the brownstone. So remember when we went to Mexico City? In Mexico City, we saw these beautiful buildings that were from the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. And yet, there were newer condos being built right above it. In the upper floors, in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th floor, were all new. Paris is considering doing that, because Paris, while it is a pretty dense city as well, because there's a lot of 5, 6-story buildings all around the city, I think up to 7 stories, it's starting to become a little bit too tight. There's not enough good housing for everyone. So Paris is encountering this issue where people have to move farther and farther away. So even Paris is starting to consider to allow people to build 2 or 3 stories more above these historic buildings. We have to do the same thing here in New York, potentially. Not for every single neighborhood, but for some neighborhoods. We should allow these owners of brownstones that want to become developers to expand. And yeah, it might take more money to build an elevator system. And that's an entire new, different conversation. But that's one alternative for New York. Because if you don't allow more people to have houses, and you keep cramming people into smaller and smaller apartments with more and more roommates, you don't allow the city to grow. And the quality of life of those individual New Yorkers from any type of background starts suffering. And you can't do that. And that's what New York City is doing right now. We just don't have enough houses. So New York City is indeed pretty in many of these areas. But why are these 5-story condos not 10-story condos? And it's because it's more economically incentive. It's more profitable to sell 10 $2 million units rather than making 30 $300,000 units or something like that. It's more economically profitable, and also it's cheaper because you to build 10 units you have to spend less money on materials. So it gets very tricky. Also, there's a lot of zoning regulations as well. So we don't allow tall buildings in many areas of the city. Ironically, New York City is a very tall city, but we don't really allow too many tall buildings outside of Manhattan. So here we have a good example of what we need more of. Of course, not everything. We need more and more affordable housing, of course. But that's how you grow a city. Because imagine, Paul says build downward. It's not really doable here in New York. We have too much infrastructure in the underground. It'll be really, really difficult to build downward. It's cheaper to build upward. Paul, good point. Might be doable in other cities. But why do we need more housing? So think about this. What if 1800s New York, we decided, wait a minute, I like New York being low. You know, we're having too many immigrants come in. No, we got to stop these Irish coming in. Let's not allow buildings to go above 3 stories. What if New York made that decision back in 1850s and stuck with that decision? New York would have not been one of the larger cities in the US if we have done that decision. Other cities made that decision. Like a city like Atlanta made that decision. And it's not that big. Or it's getting bigger now, but it wasn't big for many years. So think about that. Again, do your research. I'm speaking from the top of my head. All right, let's cross the street. See this beautiful park. Queen Mother says, how do you find a place to live if you are a minimum wage? And that's the tricky point. You either have to live with roommates, you have to live with a larger family unit, which a lot of immigrants do, especially South Americans and Indian Americans and other Southeast Asians. I have a lot of my friends who are Filipino, Pakistani, Bangladeshi. They live with huge family. It's crammed into one apartment. Those are basically your only 2 options in most of the cases. Check out this park. It looks beautiful. So this is Morningside Park. Oh, this is Morningside Park. Oh, wow. So we're about to hit Morningside Heights. Oh, so if we go up there, we'll start seeing Columbia University and Cathedral St. John the Divine. Maybe we can start seeing a peek of it from this perspective. Officially at the end of Harlem. Wendy says, happy to see the park. Yeah, it's beautiful. Playground over here. The Statue of Liberty is here resting. Oh, is this where they have that sculpture? Sun is setting. Nice camera work, says Anonymous Dude. I'm so glad you enjoy my camera work, Anonymous Dude. I do move my camera very intentionally. I do like picking my shots. Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure if I have the right shoes for this. There's a lot of piles of schist in this park. Do I have the right shoes for all these piles of schist? All around. All right, watch your step when walking through these parks. Don't want to step on the pile of schist accidentally. Nice benches. I like this.
We need a bench review. You guys want to do a bench review? Wendy says stop. It's so funny. Veronica says yuck. I'm talking about schist, Veronica. Veronica, schist. Very important. Includes that C, that H and that C and that S. All right, let's do a bench test. Oh, this is a very interesting bench. First, it's very pleasant to hear the beautiful laughs and joy of little kids playing. That's very beautiful. There's a great movie called Children of Men where Hermes says bye. Hey Hermes, thank you so much for tuning in. It was my birthday yesterday and all I wanted was schist. Says Mirna. Hey Mirna, happy belated birthday. Everyone give Mirna a happy belated birthday. Mirna, thank you so much for tuning in. Mirna has been watching for many years. There's a great movie called Children of Men where most of the world is sterile. Everyone is sterile. And no one has had a child in decades. I think it was like 2 decades or so, 2 or 3 decades. So one thing that they miss the most in this apocalyptic sci-fi world is they couldn't hear the laughs of children. They couldn't hear children playing. And you know, it's easy to take that for granted when you're walking around a beautiful city like New York or Mexico City or Paris, or London, many other cities around the world that have playgrounds. It's easy to take that for granted and not hear the laugh and the joy of kids playing around. But it is a beautiful sound to take in, to enjoy. So this bench is right by that, and I really appreciate that. And then beyond that, we have a beautiful shade right above us. This beautiful canopy of trees, perfectly placed, no bird poo whatsoever. The bench is pristine. Oh my God, this is a pristine bench. Pristine. Wow, this is like an optimal reading spot because the canopy of trees is low enough that you feel cozy. It's not like on your head, but it's close enough that you feel cozy, because sometimes if trees are too high, you know, it's a shade in that case, but in this case it feels cozy. So with the sound of the playground, the bench being in pristine condition, the beautiful canopy of trees right ahead, the wonderful breeze passing through, I would give this bench a very strong, this is one of the better benches I've been on, a very strong 8.9 out of 10. This is an 8.9 out of 10. That's a good backside as well. It's a very comfy bench. 8.9 out of 10. I hope you enjoyed this bench review. It's a Uber bench, yes. It's an Uber bench. Well, Uber benches are 9.0 or above. So almost Uber bench. It hits the benchmark. Ben says, that's how you start a bench review. Let me tell you about an existential movie from the early 2000s. Children of Bench, says Renee. Indeed, you could call it Children of Bench. Watch Children of Men. It's an excellent movie. That movie, if you want to know where I want to do the ultimate live video, like how I want to, the reason I make live videos is because of that movie. That's why I make live videos. So check it out if you want to know why this man walking around the city pointing a camera to himself, talking about benches and pigeons. Why? What motivates this bearded man, mustachioed man on the loose in cities? What drives him? Well, now you know my motivation. Children of Men. Check it out. My brother used to review movies for the SF Chronicle, says Rebecca. Oh, very cool, Rebecca.
Renee says Cuaron, you should interview him. I would love to meet him. Alfonso Cuaron seems like a really cool guy. One of my top directors. Clive Owen is indeed the star of Children of Men, yes. I hear jazz. Jazz. Let's go towards the jazz. Hey, Renee says and the Chilean Pablo Larraín. I love Pablo Larraín. Renee. His movies are mind-blowing. He did a movie about Pablo Neruda. He also did a movie very recently, if you can remind me of the name. I love his movies. Oh, we got a lone sax player. Ronald says, I found Heaven on the Bench is one of my favorite songs from the album. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. So a guy's playing sax. Amazing. Alright. I'll continue walking up. I don't think he really wants to be filmed, so. The sax has copyright? No, Renee, you know, in the city, when I film, I really act on intuition. And I get a feel if it feels friendly enough to film or not. And I have the feeling that that gentleman over there does not want to be filmed. He just wants to be left alone playing his sax. So I'll let the guy continue walking through. Oh, Earl. We found Earl. He is hanging out, looking for a donut. Wendy, you love him. You love Earl. I'm so glad. Susan said 500 stars. Oh my God, we've been getting so many stars. Thank you so much, Kay, for reminding me of who's sending the stars. Susan, thank you so much for the generous 500 stars, which is $5. I appreciate you. Thank you. Wow, I thought these stairs were going to be a lot worse, but they're not too tall. Mirna with the $10 Canadian. Yeah, I appreciate you, Mirna. So kind of you. 10 Canadians. I love when I'm gifted 10 Canadians. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mirna. Gianluca says, when will you show me the Bronx? This is a Manhattan only show, Gianluca. No outer boroughs. Manhattan only. In all seriousness, I've shown the Bronx plenty. Check out my previous episodes. I've done some very long episodes in the Bronx. We got Bob hanging out with Cooper. Bob and Cooper, the copper-colored pigeon, one of their friends. Glad to see Bob and Cooper having some time to bond. Penny might be nearby. It's Cooper's wife. It's Penny and Cooper, the copper-colored pigeons. Photos from New York says, ooh, you're near Colombia. I am indeed. Any passenger pigeons? Ooh, good question. I'm not sure. I don't see other types of pigeons here. Only the ones, I'm not sure what the New York ones are called. If anyone knows the exact species name. But no, I don't think they're passenger pigeons. I think passenger pigeons have gone extinct because we used a lot, we hunted a lot of them, I think. But do let me know. Penny's having an affair with Rick. Oh no, Trisha, that would be very bad. That would be very bad. I don't think Cooper would like that. I seen Bob's in the UK. Well, those are Bob's cousins. Bob comes from a very long lineage of famous pigeons that fought in the world wars. Bob is actually the great grandson of Moncheri, a very famous pigeon who won the medal of honor in World War II. That's 6 greats. You'll find about that more soon when the official Bob short story comes out. Whoa, let's turn more slowly. Where are we? This is Morningside Drive, okay. My computer's actually ahead of my TV right now. Uh-oh, Susan, yeah. I'm not sure what's happening with Twitch. Something happened. Let's go up here. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to get to Columbia University. We're really nearby. That'll be our last stop. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions, any comments, any academic dissertations, any philosophical existential inquiries, let me know. I would be so very tired. My legs would hurt from all this walking. Now we're definitely walking uphill on this one, yeah. Dutch Moz, am I streaming the fireworks later? No, I don't think so. No, I won't. Joe says, love those big words. Joe, I carry a dictionary around with me. That's how I use these big words. I just pick a random word and like, ooh, that sounds nice. Existential dissertations. Ooh, let me use it. Boom. The behind the scenes show of my vocabulary, my good education. This is a beautiful apartment building. What is this? It's huge. Probably one of the more taller buildings I've seen. Beautiful style too. They make it look like a Art Deco Empire State Building style.
5:43. If anyone can find out information about this building, on the front I see a VX symbol. It is still under construction. Wow, this is so cool. Anonymous Sue says, don't apologize for being the smartest guy in the room. You're quoting Spider-Man Far From Home. I absolutely love that film. One of the best films ever made, in my humble opinion. And yeah, you're right. Wow, this is beautiful. So this seems to be a residential hall for Columbia University. Ronald says, honestly, wandering is just house hunting. Indeed it is. This is a epic multi-thousand episode house hunt vlog series. Earth Paradise says, Ariel, extraordinary live stream. Thank you so much. Thank you, Earth Paradise. I appreciate that for your enthusiasm and all the exclamation points. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. What's the plan for tomorrow at 1 p.m.? I don't know. I truly don't know. Unfortunately, I don't know. I won't be doing much history videos because I'm fully focused in Greek history. So tomorrow will be another wander. I'm not sure where we're wandering, but definitely at 6 p.m. 1 p.m. I'm not sure where, but 6 p.m. I'll be going live again with a famous YouTuber by the name of Patrick Lopez. He's a Brazilian YouTuber here in New York. He also does live streams. He will be joining me on my live stream after we film a vlog on his channel. And he will be showing me Astoria, Queens, the Brazilian version of it. And we'll be trying some Brazilian food on live video. It's tomorrow my birthday, says Candy. I will be going live one day for my birthday. And no, it won't be tomorrow. Ooh, another tall building here. Ooh, they're building tall here in Morningside Heights. Wow, I never noticed this architecture. Here's a seminary. The Jewish Theological Seminary of America. And there's the elevated for only like one stop. That's the one train passing through. Wow, these buildings are getting so tall. Well, I wonder what this was for. That's awesome. Truthfully, I enjoy these wanders, says Ronald. I'm so glad, Ronald. Thank you.
What's my son? You think I wasn't going to do like, no, what do you need?
Maybe the Metropolitan Museum of Art to talk about Greece, says Renee. I'd rather show you the real thing. Also, the Met is notoriously against video. They don't like video. So I can neither confirm nor deny me doing the videos in the Met. If you've seen such a thing, they do not exist. But hopefully Greek museums are a little bit more friendly. Crossing fingers, not sure yet. Here's the, I think it's called the Union Theological Seminary. Astoria was largely Greek for a time. Yeah. It still is. There's still many parts where there's a lot of Greek people. Does the Guggenheim allow video? No, not the Guggenheim. No, neither. Nor the Frick. Most of the art museums don't. If you've seen any video of such kind, they do not exist.
here we are. We arrived to Columbia University. Inside there's a coffee shop called Joe Coffee right there in the second floor. It's accessible to everyone. You don't need to show ID. You only need to show ID if you actually go into the upper floors of the building. We're also right by the tallest cathedral in all of the US, which we'll see soon in a bit. That's Riverside Church. Full tours of all these churches, their history, check them out on the previous video back last summer. Deb says, before I became mobilely challenged, I used to love wandering the city. Oh yeah, Deb. Wandering the city is truly a beautiful thing to do. I'm glad I can make these videos for people who could use them for various reasons. So here it is, Riverside Church, made by the Rockefellers. Deb, you live in Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn. Ooh, I love Sheepshead Bay. It's a beautiful area of Brooklyn. Hey, Dutch Maz, nice to see you here. Quite the steeples, yeah, they're very tall. Tallest church in America. Definitely New York. I think it is taller than the one in Washington as well, so do clarify, let me know. All right, our last stop here at Columbia University. This is the university that one of the best superheroes to have ever been created attended. Let me know if you know what superhero I'm talking about. And this specific superhero attended this specific university with two main villains. So let me know those three. We got the superhero and the two villains. They all came here to Columbia. Who are they? He's mentioned a lot in these live streams because he's very famous. Deming says Wolverine. I would say close, but not quite. That's very far away. Charlotte and Joe got it right. Is Spider-Man. Anonymous to no Deadpool. I don't think Deadpool was a college graduate. So no, it wasn't Deadpool. But yes, Spider-Man. Renee, the Ghostbusters indeed was filmed here and they did work here, but they're not superheroes. So yeah. The Ghostbusters were another type of fictional characters here. So Spider-Man, yeah, Peter Parker. So who were the two villains? Ben Schuster got it right. Oh my God, Ben Schuster. I'm not sure if I'm missing a villain, but Ben Schuster got it right. The two villains were Lizard and Dr. Octopus. Dr. Octopus. The Lizard was featured in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Not so good, those movies in my opinion, but the Dr. Octopus was actually amazingly portrayed by Alfred Molina. And here we have the Columbia University building dedicated to Earl the Squirrel. Can't you need a drink of water after walking so much and talking? Yes, I am amazingly parched. I require some refreshing liquids to be ingested into my body. So stay tuned. Photos from New York says it was not dedicated to Earl. Photos from New York. What were you saying? What were you saying? That Earl the Squirrel was not the one that inspired the dedication of the entire building here in Columbia University? I'm not sure what you're insinuating here. Obviously,
Obviously, this beautiful building was dedicated to one of the greatest squirrels to be living right now, Earl. And the great descendants of Earl. Because Earl comes from a great line of Earl the Squirrels that have roamed New York for centuries. Wendy says, love you, you're so funny. Thank you. Hey, Ronald. Hey, Anonymous says, a bit of couch potato. Oh, no, Anonymous. You're getting some major steps. Good for you, says Anonymous. I'm glad. And Alfred Molina was also in Indiana Jones. Indeed, he was. It was one of his first roles. Sometimes you feel like a nut, says Jacqueline. Jacqueline, I am too sober. Way too sober. Way too sober, and sometimes I feel a little bit too sane. Too sane. Sane. Thank you for the stream, and everyone, our last stop here, the middle of Columbia University. I'm about to teach my class for a theoretical quantum physics. Right after this. Live streamer by day, professor by night. Hey, Kay sent 1,000 stars. Oh my god, Kay. That's so awesome. Let me show you the owl. Who wants to see the little owl hidden inside the statue? Lots of students here today. So this is Alma Mater, based on Columbia, the American goddess, quote unquote. And originally she was based on Minerva, and also a combination with Athena. And inside her robes of Alma Mater / Columbia / Minerva / Athena is this guy over here, a little owl. In 1970, someone left a bomb right by Alma Mater. It blew up, this partly damaging the actual statue, and they had to recover it. But no one knows who left the bomb and why. It's still a mystery to this day. So who wanted to destroy Alma Mater? Were they trying to get payback for some Masonic secrets? Or did they just not like little owls? Who knows? Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I will be in Greece from June 30th to July 19th. Tomorrow I'll be back live again, 1 p.m. and then later again at 6 p.m. I'll be live. And I'll be also doing other lives throughout the week, including Saturday. I'll be live again at 1 p.m. And at some point on this next week, I'll be live on my birthday. So you just have to stay tuned and to know what day that is. And then one more time, thank you so much, Kay, for the 1,000 stars. Very generous of Kay, sending 1,000 stars as $10. Thank you so much. I'm about to teach my class of theoretical quantum physics at the doctorate level here. and time travel. I also teach a class on time travel. So gotta get to my class. I hope everyone enjoys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye.